Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
As North Dakota continues to reopen, cases of active COVID-19 in Cass County are remaining steady, today at 25. Recently, a Fargo plant employee died from what her family says was COVID-19 that she got at work. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagaro spent the past few weeks digging into local plants after several employees contacted our whistleblower hotline.
Callum Bjorgum says he spent 6 months employed at GPK Products in North Fargo. When he first spoke to us, he was in quarantine for 2 weeks after he says he was exposed to COVID-19 at work.
They're worried about money and losing customers, and I understand that, but we're worried about our lives.
Bjorgum says he quit his job at GPK on May 29th, citing a lack of efforts by management to protect employees.
I spoke with the Human Resources Department and voiced my concerns, and they told me that they weren't forcing anybody to come to work. Anyone could quit at any time.
He says his wife, who still works there, is leaving Friday after almost 4 years. GPK Products does pipe fitting. Vicky Putney reportedly worked there for 35 years. A family member told Valley News Live the 66-year-old got COVID-19 at GPK and died on May 31st from the disease. According to the state, there are more than 9,000 people employed at manufacturing plants in Cass County. That represents a third of all manufacturing employees in North Dakota. A big employer in Fargo is Case New Holland.
Case New Holland employs people from Valley City to Detroit Lakes, Hillsboro, Wahpeton. So if there was an outbreak in the plant, that's a lot of communities that could get affected as well.
Jeremy Pearson is the union representative for plant employees. Pearson says Case has done some good things, such as staggering start times, but they have ways to go.
No one's ever seen something like this before, right? So there's no template for it. What we're trying to do is let's just be considerate and do the right thing.
He adds some Case employees have also been laid off for 9 weeks. In Fargo, Joshua Pagaro, Valley News Live.
We spent several weeks trying to get an on-camera interview with GPK Products, but they declined discussing the matter. Case New Holland has previously told us it won't comment on COVID-19 cases at its plant. The threat of severe weather has moved on, but the chance for some rain is still out there, along with that strong wind. Let's find out from Hutch what we can expect tonight. He's here with our Wednesday night weather planner. Hutch?
Mike, thank you so much. We see cooler colors off to the east where it's 60 in Badette and in the 60s for most of western Minnesota. Well, rise into the low 70s here in eastern North Dakota. That is where the radar shows a few spotty showers through Stutsman County, Wells County, Sheridan County also seeing that. But up here along the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border, a few more robust thunder showers pushing towards our northwesternmost counties and the Devil's Lake Basin. That is where the best chance of a few showers and thunderstorms will be as we go into the late night hours. But crystal clear skies showing up here in Grand Forks at our home of economy camera. Temperatures staying in the 60s, and we will have winds decreasing after sunset here in Fargo. Up north, though, we'll be in the 60s as well with decreasing wind. A slight chance in Grand Forks of seeing a renegade late night thunderstorms. I'll have more on the timing of those, and we're just getting new information in, Mike, right now on more tornado damage surveys completed by the National Weather Service. I'm going to peruse those and be back in touch and let you know where tornadoes hit here in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch. Mahnomen County investigators are looking into the circumstances that led to a 3-year-old girl being airlifted to a Fargo hospital this week. They call it a child abuse investigation after being called to the 2200 block of College Road on Monday. However, family and friends of the victim tell us that's not the case. No one wanted to talk with us on camera today, but they did tell us that what happened was an accident. According to a GoFundMe for the victim, she hit her head on a coffee table and soon became unconscious. The 3-year-old had emergency brain surgery to relieve the intense amount of swelling and remains in critical condition under heavy sedation. Family and friends say the child's mother would never lay a hand on their daughter and want the people of the community to refrain from judgment until further information comes out from investigators. Moorhead police are asking you for help in solving a homicide investigation. Police say the case of Richard Steffen's death remains very active. It happened at 1615 20th Street South in Moorhead last Wednesday. Police are trying to identify other people who may have witnessed or were involved in the assault. 32-year-old Cameron St. Clair and 35-year-old Aaron Sunby have been charged in connection to the death. St. Clair is facing charges including second and third degree murder, second-degree manslaughter. Sunby is facing accomplice, aiding and offender charges, as well as third-degree assault charges. If you have any information, Moorhead police are asking you to call the number that's on the bottom of your screen, 218-299-5120. Moorhead police also need your help in identifying this woman. They say June 3rd she was caught on camera tampering with vehicles. They also say she was also seen stealing a blue Chevy Blazer with Minnesota plates. That car is still missing today. If you have any information, call dispatch at 701-451-7660. The man involved in an armed robbery at Jimmy John's in West Fargo last night is still on the loose. He held up the sandwich shop by Costco around 8 last night. Police say he pointed a handgun at employees and demanded money, then took off. Despite setting up a perimeter in a nearby neighborhood and bringing in canines, the robber got away. He's described as a light-skinned black man, about 5 feet 6 inches tall. He was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt with the hood up and was also wearing a black face mask. He got into a white vehicle and headed west toward Rivers Bend, where he ditched the vehicle. If you have any information, call police at 701-433-5500. A 39-year-old Moorhead man was arrested early this morning for giving false information to police. Authorities were called to the 100 block of 9th Street South in Fargo just after midnight, after someone reported seeing a man with a crowbar damaging an outbuilding. Police say the name he gave them, Joshua Sather, was fake. They also say they found meth paraphernalia on Sather. North Dakota is reporting 40 new cases along with a new death linked to the COVID-19 illness. The victim was a woman in her 80s from Cass County. She had previous health issues. There have been 73 deaths related to COVID-19 in North Dakota. There are now 386 active cases in the state, and 2,482 people are listed as being recovered. 2 mass COVID-19 testing events will be held for the general public in Fargo tomorrow and Friday, with a capacity to test as many as 4,000 people a day and the state averaging around 2,800 a day currently. There's room to expand testing. Governor Doug Burgum says this is an opportunity for people who may not have symptoms or knowingly have been around someone with COVID-19.
But we want to be in a position to test anybody. We're interested in finding positives wherever they may fall in the metro region, or if you're just happen to be in Fargo for the weekend and you're live in Wahpeton or Hillsborough or Castleton, if you're there, feel free to drive in and go for a test, because we're happy to test people from the region as well.
Both events, tomorrow and Friday, will be at the Fargo Dome from 10 in the morning until 6 p.m. Appointments are not required, but it is strongly encouraged to complete the online screening questionnaire in advance. The tests are free. Insurance will not be processed. Those with a positive result will be notified by phone within 72 hours. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced today that he will convene a special legislative session that will start Friday, with police reform and building a stronger economy the top priorities.
Let's show them that democracy works. Let's show them in this moment that what those people did going to the streets makes a difference. Let's show them that by raising up their voices and asking for change, it can come about.
Walz adds that he supports the recommendations on police reform and accountability that were introduced by several advocacy groups. This comes on the same day that the Minneapolis police chief announced that he is withdrawing from contract negotiations with the police union. 19 more people have died from the coronavirus in Minnesota. That brings the state death toll to 1,236. Of those deaths, 984 happened in a long-term care facility. 31 of the deaths are considered probable, meaning a positive test result isn't on file. 352 more people are diagnosed with the virus, bringing the active case count to 2,958. 24,675 people have recovered. Minnesota's Department of Health is urging people who took part in protests to get tested for COVID-19. So far, they say the response has been overwhelming. Health officials had hoped to test 3,000 people this week at 4 free testing sites. They urge anyone who took part in protests, vigils, or cleanups to get tested.
We are encouraging people to wait kind of 5 to 7 days after they have had that exposure in that large group. That just provides more time for the virus to kind of reach its incubation period.
Health officials say that there's going to be limited walk-in testing available in the state next week and the week after. The brother of George Floyd spoke today during a House judicial hearing. What he had to say about police reform is coming up later on Valley News Live at 6.
Quiet, breezy, and cooler today. We'll have a few showers and a few rumbles of thunder into the overnight. I'll have hour-by-hour details on where and the track here in just one moment.